heard an awful lot about sex on campus, and so far our guests have been telling us how great and free sex life at college can be, but is it really all that great? Dennis Howard is from New Jersey. He is the president of the Movement for a Better America. Dennis says this type of free love on campus is leading to the end of family. Why do you say that, Dennis?
Values are breaking down in this society, and values really are the rules we live by. And if you don't have rules to live by, you're like a computer without a program. You're all crazy mixed up.
Go on.
But also, I think what this is contributing to is a breakdown of the family. These kids don't seem to have any really great sense of where they're going with their lives. You know, we've forgotten family, and yet the future of our own lives and of our children's lives really rests in the family. If we don't have healthy families, we're not going to have healthy communities.
Yeah, so you had a reaction when you said that.
I don't understand. So the fact that I sexually experiment means that I don't have values installed in me from my parents. It doesn't mean that I can teach good morals and ethics to my children. It doesn't mean that I have a future in front of me. It doesn't mean that I am graduating university with a 3.6 GPA. It doesn't mean that I'm going to have a job waiting for me.
First of all,
check what your kids are doing.
First of all, I'm not here to sit in judgment on you, right? I talk to my kids regularly. As a matter of fact, one of the things I did before the show was call my daughter out in Colorado. I have a nice heart-to-heart on what's really going on campus out in Colorado. And I think this book really is exploiting the whole sexual issue on campus. I don't think the book represents what is really going on campus. There are an awful lot of good straight kids who may have had some sexual experiences to learn from them.
What do you think is really going on college campuses? These are anomalies sitting here?
Yes, I don't think they're representative. However, I think they're still good, decent kids. I like them. They're great kids. However, there are an awful lot of people who are great kids and who are terribly mixed up because of what our society is teaching them.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Ray?
Well, I don't really. I'm trying to think where you're getting this opinion what makes you think that all this is wrong, because this is a survey that was done of tons of people,
right,
and we're sitting with a bunch of them right here. And the fact that you're saying that values are changing, our survey showed that 90% of the students thought marriage was a great idea. They all want to get married someday, and these people even mirrored that response. I don't see how that's going against values just because they're experimenting with sex. I mean, we're sexual beings. We're going to experiment with it one way or the other.
Of course, we're sexual beings. There's no question about that. Sex is a wonderful thing, but it's even better if it's saved for marriage. It also happens to be the most addictive substance known to man, and I can't. When you mix it with things like alcohol and drugs and things like that, that's when kids' lives really get destroyed.
Right, and that's one of the reasons we wrote the book, is we're trying to advise against people having negative sexual experiences in the presence of alcohol, in fraternities, where lots of terrible things can happen, like date rape and rape, which is on campus and something we want to teach people how to avoid.
And do happen outside of fraternities.
Yes,
don't
obviously.
Sure.
Obviously.
But what kind of a preparation is that for family life, where fidelity is a very important thing? If you're not faithful, you're going to pay all kinds of prices for it.
Ever heard of sowing your oats?
Yes, people die. Hey, I did a little of that myself when I was young, and
so you're being a little
And you think
very honest about that.
And you think because you experimented that you're any less of a person, or that you can't be faithful to your wife now?
No, but what I had to learn in the process. I had to learn some painful experiences.
And so will everyone.
That's exactly
will
what
everyone.
this time of our life is. It's a learning experience. As long as you're careful, you can
And being
experiment,
safe.
because it helps you to learn, and it helps you to actually do better in life. If you're sheltered and you get married, how do you know that if you haven't experimented with other people that's the right person for you? How do you know if you haven't had other relationships with people that this person that you're getting married to is the right person? And of course, I'm not saying to go have sex with somebody until you find the person that makes you go like, ooh, the best. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that, because I just think that it's ridiculous for you to say that we can't be faithful, or that we can't instill some sort of values into our children just because we're experimenting.
From the audience here.
Okay, I disagree with what the father said. I mean, I can see his point as a parent, that he'd be concerned about what his children could be not doing in college. When I was a freshman in college, I'll admit, I experimented a lot. But now I have a daughter, and as a parent, I don't think that anything that I did when I was younger could have a bad influence on what I could teach my child. If anything, my experiences, whether positive or negative, have taught me something that I can pass on to my daughter when she becomes a teenager and when she goes off to college.
Of course, we all learn from. We all learn from our relationships. There's no question about it. And kids, young people, it is a time of getting to know oneself and getting to know other people. You got to give that time, however. And to promote the idea that a lot of sex on campus is a great idea is a mistake. First of all, I don't think it's accurate. These people told me earlier that this is based on a 20,000 direct mail survey and a 10% response rate. Well, I happen to do a lot of market research in my career, and that's a totally unreliable sample. Now, they may have come up with some interesting data, but it's not representative of the whole universe.
It's
like taking a survey of drinkers on campus and only hearing from the drinkers.
Well, we're not statistical experts. I should say that. We're not, but we hired one. I mean, we didn't put ourselves up as someone who knew how to conduct this. We wanted to get to college students, and we consulted with Details Magazine, who hired a company called Willard & Shulman, which is a major market research company in Connecticut, and we asked them, help us, give us your expertise. So,
well, we're going to continue talking about this. We're going to talk about who's practicing safe sex on campus and who isn't, and why or why not. We'll be right back in a minute.
I wanted to know if when you get oral sex, do you use condoms?
When we receive oral sex, I tried. So
That's a good point.
And it is a mistake, and it is a mistake, and it is a mistake, and I know that it's wrong, and I should.
Yeah, it is wrong.
no,
So you're not using condoms all the time.
And our survey found that
So you're lying.
hardly
Why do you want to make us out to be lying? I don't see why that's your question.
That's actually a good point, because
it's true.
almost
I
no one
should.
does. It's up in the upper 70s of people who don't use
Never.
They say they never use condoms during oral sex, and that's just ignorant. I mean, that's just
dangerous.
it's dangerous and it's not
Right,
safe.
but